Goodbye.
Hi, I'm SeraVenza. I'm going to be running Fable Anniversary 80% for you guys tonight. Let's go ahead and get in game. While I'm doing that, I want to go ahead and let my commentators introduce themselves.
Hello, I'm Etem. I've been running this game and the non-remake version.
Daydreaming again,
very excited to be.
Just like your mother. Mind always.
Hi, I'm Ligitacy. I've been running the game for about 4 years now.
Late 2018. Ligitacy and I run the top 2 for the last year, and we really love this game.
Okay. So, one thing I want to talk about, not too long, I just want to mention before I get the run started here, I'm going to be using a thing that we like to call multiple input methods, where I'm going to be primarily using keyboard and mouse, but I do have a controller plugged in, and I have a hairband around it, and it's holding the left stick ever so slightly up. That's going to come into play later. Otherwise, yeah, let's go ahead and get this run started in 3, 2, 1, go. So, first thing you're going to be seeing here, obviously, I am rolling. This is significantly faster than running, even at the early game. For reference, in the split, under the most perfect of circumstances, it saves about 7 seconds, which is pretty massive.
Yeah, we'll be using it in tandem
it's
with
a 2-minute split.
Movement methods. It'll be pretty damn.
And this game has a story, right?
Yeah.
Fable, if you will. Okay, so it's our sister's birthday right now. We forgot to get her a present, so we're trying to correct that with the help of our dad, who said he will give us a gold piece for every good deed we do in our hometown here of Oakvale. We've completed 2 good deeds there, and now we're going to find an alternative source of income by accepting a bribe from a man who is having an affair with his wife. And we are to keep quiet about it. And we're going to go buy chocolates here for our sister. Now, the fact that we accepted a bribe from that man means that the local town guards are not going to be very happy with us and are going to chase us down if they see us and try to give us a stern talking to. But thankfully, I was able to dodge that.
Yeah, they can really.
Hello, little
They can just
brother.
hook.
I come. Wait.
Yeah, if they're in the middle of the animation, they'll just snap to you.
But anyway, we give our sister her chocolates for her birthday, and suddenly the town gets raided by bandits.
So known as a freak can.
In some circles. But yeah.
Everyone's trying to impress her.
God rest his seat.
Definitely not a traitor.
Absolutely not a traitor.
So story-wise, right? Basically, all the way
It's time to wake up.
vengeance. Here's Whisper. We don't like.
If you
Gonna give
continue
it.
to flout the rules.
Actually set up strictly, where it's actually going to skip some of the training, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
I just crossed a bridge, so was that the
There you
bridge?
She kills too many runs as it is.
So the Guildmaster, as our first bit of training, wants us to punch that dummy, knowing that we won't make much of an impact. And he then gives us a stick, which is a lot more effective.
Ah, now that's more like.
Also, we are going to be picking up experience orbs a little bit throughout the run.
So we've got our first little quest here, which is fighting the beetles. Each of them only take a single hit to kill, but they are a little bit finicky because they fly around, and it messes up the targeting system a little bit. So we'll see how we get on here. Try and go for some double or triple cleaves.
Not too good spread on this first set here. Ooh.
Gone and said it now.
Come here.
Well done, lad. The beetles are all dead. You can come out of the woods now.
So the Guildmaster says that the beetles are all dead, and we can come out of the woods afterwards. But last I checked, Paul and Ringo are both still alive.
Breaking news coming.
Get out of
Let's
there,
hope not.
lazy
That would be really sad. But yeah. Let's skip forward a few years, at least. Basically going to be a little bit more of the same thing that we've been doing already, except we're going to be learning a little bit more with melee combat, using an actual weapon.
Go from a stick to an iron.
Put that old.
Great.
So essentially,
Okay,
we're
thank
going to
you.
be doing a little bit
And
of
then immediately to a real enemy. Seems a little backwards.
Now pay attention.
So yeah, the whole thing with the melee training here is we're learning how to attack, how to block, and now we're going to try and combine these things. Or at least that's what the game wants us to do.
yeah. Which can
We're
be
going to be a little bit more
annoying
YOLO about it.
That's all wrong, Whisper.
Back. Hello.
They
Sorry
need
about that.
me by the
Technical
archery
difficulties.
range to
Oh, good.
Let's continue our training.
Let's continue our training with the bow.
Oh, here's
Right,
gonna
so-
come the payoff for punching Whisper earlier.
You need more
Indeed.
muscle behind your shots, lad.
Must judge that
Adam, do you
second
want to
shot.
explain?
Come on, lad. Get your bow out.
So essentially, what happened earlier is the guild gives you like a 4-strike rule for like attacking friendly NPCs,
We will
and
learn
if
about
you
the ways.
attack 4, or if you hit the 4th hit while doing the archery training, it just the guildmaster's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" But then he lets you skip it. Then we can do the same thing here with lightning training. So use lightning once, and then guildmaster 4 times. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And then skip it.
This
So that
saves a
saves
literal
them.
minute and a half.
Very
Absolutely.
And then
Before you graduate, there is
the most grueling final exam you could possibly imagine. Absolutely the most grueling final test that the developers came up with.
Hitting May 7 times with sword, bow,
Each
magic.
ability. Indeed. Where maze can spawn anywhere randomly.
He is indeed on a timer, so we'll see how we go.
Yeah, I think he's gonna teleport on 5 would be my guess.
I'm thinking probably like 4.
That's fair.
Place your bets now.
Especially if I
I'm going with
Okay,
the
or
rip
like
those
2.
ones.
Oh, wow. 4.
Yeah, it's 4 if you miss 2, for sure. It was a pretty good maze, though.
I always misjudge like the very first like lightning or 2.
So we're
But
gonna
once I get
finish
into the rhythm,
guild
it's
now.
fine.
And we're going to get our first upgrade, which is Assassin Rush. And this is a spell that just zooms forward, so we're going to use it in cooldown. We'll be going rush roll, rush roll.
let the apprentice.
This is
And that's
also
gonna-
where multiple input methods is going to come into play.
Yeah. But essentially,
It's time for
that's
you
the
to-
first upgrade. And then after that, we're going to get a hell of a lot of
Everything
upgrades.
else. Everything else.
Yeah. It's like Assassin Rush, the rest of the upgrade. But we're going to take our first quest
First,
here, which
we
is
need
Wasp
to go
Queen.
fight this Wasp Queen. Yep.
Cool.
And you
We're
have to
gonna
make
a
this
save.
really important save that we
Really,
won't
really
talk about for the
important.
next
Remember
hour.
this chat. It's going to be
We'll
on
need
the
that
test.
later. Oh, yeah.
Take notes, Chad. Take notes.
So you can see here the Assassin Rush is going right past. Actually, I should talk about this if she got it. So she has the bow in her hand. It looks like she just spliced the run, but actually, if you go into a load zone and push the button at the same time, the game will launch that item. 1 second, sorry.
Yeah. Basically, the game has a bit of an input buffer system. Oh, that is really unfortunate.
Ooh.
So I guess
Very
this is a
rare
good
to have that
opportunity
happen.
to talk about most bosses and like major enemies in this game, where essentially they have like a health gate or a health threshold, where after a certain amount of damage taken, they'll suddenly become like invulnerable to hits, and that's just until they do like some kind of animation or dance or spawn more enemies or dabbing, whatever they want to do, sort of thing. That is our first quest done, so we are going to head and speak to Maze at Bowerstone, which is the first town in this game. Maze is still definitely not a traitor. We're also going to break the economy quite a lot, so this is where something called menu manipulation comes in. And essentially what we'll be doing is buying an item in bulk, say for instance 200 apples, which are cheap, and then we're going to be changing the selection so that the game thinks that we're instead selling. So we're going to hover over sell all 200 apples, and we're going to change the selection and change it so it's selling 200 will potions instead. This is going to give us a lot of gold. So it also gives us a lot of skill XP, so it's going to go pretty quickly. So buy all the green apples, buy a fishing rod and spade for later, hover over sell. So Sarah has just sold the equivalent of 200 will potions and res files. So we've gone from
$100,000
gold to like 98,000 gold.
Been enjoying
And that's just the
roughly
first
around
part.
2,000 skill experience.
And now don't blink or you might miss it.
And yeah, now comes the really complicated menu session.
Oh, now this
Ligitacy, you want to talk through this, or do you want me to?
Yeah, I'll talk through this. So essentially what we're trying to do is we're trying to build one skill large enough to be able to get enough experience to be able to buy all the things that we want. And magic power allows us to do this because anything you menu manipulate into it will level up multi-strike, and if you menu manipulate it into physical shield, it'll level up accuracy. And that's like the second most expensive skill, which will give us about 32,000 experience to play with. And then after that, we just get to max everything we need.
Yeah, we're going to rinse and
Not
repeat this a
quite
few
max,
times.
but yes. Yeah, we basically do a few cycles to get high enough levels, but not too many cycles where we're wasting time. As we will do more menuing after the arena, about 30 minutes into the run.
Yeah, and don't worry, if you're confused, just look at the green XP thing on the right and just watch it go up and down. Watch it go brr, and if you're in doubt, just follow that. We're essentially just giving ourselves free XP to get all the upgrades we need. So our physical appearance is going to change a lot. We're going to go from young sprout to wall hero.
6.
Yes, we're about to show off Max Berserk, which is the, I would say, really the best ability in the game. Doubles your damage practically and makes your rolling a whole lot faster. Could be 50%. I don't know the numbers really.
Yeah. While we've got a second here, I'm going to talk about summon. So summon is normally a pretty useless spell. It spawns a little wasp to start off to fight for you. But this wasp has a hitbox, and that's going to be useful. So we're going to head over into the Chamber of Fate. This is Berserk, which is red and angry. But using summon, we're going to spawn a hitbox. And if you're familiar, you may see where this is going. Assassin Rush lets you zip through me. So using that hitbox, we are going to summon a wasp partially into the ground. Very carefully. And then using Assassin Rush, we're going to go under the floor and find the Sword of Aeons, which, those of you who've played this game, this is basically the end game most powerful weapon in the game. And it's just chilling under the floor.
Yep.
And so
Remember
now
that
we're
save that we said was really important?
Oh, yes.
Coming up here.
We're going to be using this to perform a load warp.
Load warp, yeah. Sarah, do you want to explain? Do you want me to?
I don't think I got it.
So
It looks like
I didn't get it.
Oh, no. So practically a load warp. So Sarah's loading this save from after the Wasp Queen fight from this door at Lookout Point. And that's really just because that door is a lot closer to this door in front of her that she needs to run through. And so she's just going to reload the file from the Chamber of Fate.
Oh my god, I did it too early.
It's a pretty precise input. But third tries the charm. No stress, you got it.
Yeah, load warps will come into play later and save a lot of time, but this is more
Yes.
just
This
one of
one
those
saves
minor
about
things.
6 seconds of running. But yeah, as you see there, you basically load the game and then hit escape before the game loads and then do a roll into a load zone so that you go into the new zone as the character from the save that you loaded. I'm sorry if that was confusing.
You're good. So remember how Sarah said that she's got a controller plugged in earlier? This comes into play here because Assassin Rush is a little bit finicky in that you can be targeting something behind you. If you are and it's fast, you're going to end up rushing backwards towards it. But if you've got a controller plugged in, it activates some like really, really legacy code from like the 2004 version of the game. And it means that you're always going to be rushing in a forwards direction. So just with a controller plugged in and a hairband, that's all you need.
Who would have thought that a hair tie changed the game forever?
Yeah, it was one small find that saved several minutes of movement alone over the run.
So to give some context as to how powerful we are now, before we was charging our bow for a good couple of seconds to do 120 damage. Now we're doing a big AoE, which does... That's only scratching the surface. This is the Orchard Farm quest. We're essentially just killing 3 waves of 3 band. Really not do it. Also get another context of the damage we're doing. So before, 120 damage, about 3 seconds with a bow charge. One thing, but with our sword, Whisper's going to have 600 HP. Don't blink or you will miss it.
Yeah, Whisper.
So, go on.
We're done.
Damn.
Yep.
Cool. So rather than go straight back to the guild for our next quest, we're actually going to take a little detour and head straight towards the next area, because in this game we've got what's called color skates, and they're basically like teleport points. So you can teleport to those points at any point in the game, really. So we're going to head to the next color skate in the game, because our next quest takes place a few maps down. So rather than having to backtrack all the way through Greatwood, which we did earlier, we're going to do this, and that will just save a lot of backtracking.
Also, Sarah's going to do a little thing. Oh, that's okay.
Went too close.
Usually, instead of talking to that bandit, you would try to force push like that, but she got it anyway. So practically, you force push the enemy and knock them onto the ground, and then use Inflame to kill the enemy. But since they're already on the ground, they can't go into a dying animation. So they come back up with 0 HP, and your summoned wasp kills it. And we need to do that because we need the bandit summon to be able to do a clip or several clips later in the run, and the wasp hitbox is not big enough, I believe.
Right.
No.
Right.
Yeah,
it
it
just
works
doesn't
with
quite work.
more than just bandits, but the bandit
Mobs
there
too,
is
yeah.
just the most it's the most convenient and it's consistent.
Yeah.
And if you get the force push off correctly, you can avoid talking to him.
So,
I kind
coming up
of
here,
got a little bit too close to him.
Yeah,
We,
it happens. The distance.
we
is
have our
hard.
first, well, I say first quest, I'm going to say that for every quest. But we've got Trader Escort, and this is probably one of those quests where when you first played the game, you probably struggled with trying to escort the traders through Darkwood and them getting destroyed by Balverines, which are like the werewolf-looking things. We're going to be using the term escort very loosely. There's going to be 3 traders. One of them has been bitten.
This first one wants to talk to us, and
Well-
he's not going to anymore.
Yeah, he's dead now.
You'll never talk
so-
again.
We used a multi-arrow on him. There are 4 shots of the multi-arrow ability, with the final shot doing, I believe, double damage compared to the rest of them, and that's going to be important later. And so not only did Sarah skip that escort, the trader's dialogue, but also set up now having 3 shots left of multi-arrow, which she'll need for a later split pretty soon.
Yeah. And you'll notice that we're just running through the areas. We're not actually waiting for the traders to follow. So they'll follow you through the maps. And normally at Darkwood Camp, they'll try and like wait at the stop here and they'll have a chat. It's like, oh, I haven't seen you around for a while. Thing.
Yeah, and
If you
they're
just
supposed
run
to
straight
heal and
through,
stuff.
They'll kind of follow. So right now they're stuck at the entrance for every map, but they'll follow you through map transitions. So again, we use the term escort very loosely. They're just kind of leaving them for dead and hoping. But really, it's
they'll be
completely
fine.
safe. Yeah, completely
Well,
safe.
absolutely.
Like the bandits aggro onto us and start chasing us. The traders are always safe. I don't think
I
we've
believe
ever
the
had
traders teleport into the load zone with you anyway.
Yeah.
Once you get through.
So this is an earth troll. It has 2,000 health.
And
big
don't
enemy
blink
in
or
the
you'll miss it.
game.
Yep.
Don't blink.
That was an earth troll. It had 2,000 health.
Oh my god!
thought I had
you didn't
multi-strike
even have
applied already.
multi-strike. Yeah, I didn't even have multi-strike, and you still almost died in one shot. It's crazy. And so that was the end of the Traitor escort.
Yep.
And now we're going into find Twinblade, the main leader of the bandits that raided Oakvale when we were
so
young.
Sarah, what's going on with the story here? Fill us in. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're meeting up with Maze, Mr. Totally Not a Traitor. Got some news for us. He told us in Bowerstone that our sister may have survived the bandit raid. But he didn't have any leads on about where she might possibly be. He got wind of the fact that Twinblade has a blind Cirrus under his tutelage. So we're going to go and find the bandit Cirrus. But first, we need to, get past this gate. Which we shouldn't normally be able to get past.
Yeah, so in this area way earlier than we should, we're just going to be able to, enter this area and start the quest at the halfway point. And I guess while we're going through this, probably a good time for some donos.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. We've got a lot of love coming in. I have $20 from Half Cat. Let's go, Sarah. Glad to catch you live on the big stage. Thank you so much for your donation. I have $10 from Dragia. Is that the godly Fable runner, SeraVenza? Good luck on the run, friend. Try to get your combat multiplier even higher.
I will try. Thank you, Dra.
I have $25 from Big Law. Hey there, Sarah. Best of luck. I'm so excited for Fable to finally make an appearance here on GDQ, and I'm absolutely certain you'll kill it. Much love, Large Legislation. Yes, your health is low. Do you have a bid war and donations?
We do indeed.
We do.
So there is currently a bid war on whether to kill or spare the Guildmaster, who's the old chap with the stash that's been helping us out. Right at the end of the game, we get the option to take his soul and to do that, or take the Gravekeeper Nostro's soul. I believe it's pretty close at the moment. There's donos in.
I just killed my bandit summon there just because, for some reason, summons that have been used for clipping like to just kind of turn around on you, and it's really annoying. So I just killed them to refresh their AI when I summon a new one. But, yeah.
Now it's time
Summon
for the-
clipping just
what I would
lets
say
us... Sorry.
What? I was going to say this is just the first major boss of the game. What were you saying?
I was going to say that summon clipping saves several minutes because of the fact that you don't have to go through a bandit-infested area, the abandoned road, not so abandoned. You also don't have to get a pass to get into Twinblade's elite camp, and you also don't need to create any sort of distraction to get into Twinblade's tent. And I cannot seem to rush behind Twinblade for some reason.
Yeah, his body is weird sometimes.
Yeah, his gimmick
that was
is
the
that
first
he can
boss
only
of
really
the game.
be,
I've seen so many
damaged
things.
while his jams is around.
You've won.
He decides to be invulnerable for 8 seconds.
I said, clear off.
But as you can see, because of multi-strike as well as the Sword of Aeon and Berserk, we're practically one-shotting everything, at least right now, towards the beginning of the game. Which is very good for going fast. We're gonna pick up a bow right here, the Master Longbow. We're gonna need this to go with our multi-arrow shot later against an enemy that we'll be fighting in a bit.
And we're also going to force push Maze from the bottom of his tower to initiate his cutscene and trigger the next quest.
It's my
Here is
favorite.
just very anticipated.
Check the guild.
Yeah, the hero doesn't actually have a name, so we just call him John Fable, the hero.
You've received a new quest card.
I
Indeed.
thought it went far enough so I wouldn't get stuck there. Dang.
Yeah, that
hitbox
Fable
is
bonk
weird.
area is just
Yeah.
terrible.
Oh, here's the first
100%
rock
except when
troll
it
of the game. You saw the earth troll earlier. This guy's a lot stronger, and unlike the earth troll, he doesn't have a barrier behind him, so we don't care.
We don't need to kill him.
Yeah, no,
We'll
we
see him
just
again
run right
later.
past. Yeah, we'll see a couple of them at some point.
As part of this quest, we need to go through a demon
Oh.
door, but they don't
Bad angle.
flip
There we
out,
go.
so flip through works out. And essentially, normally what you have to do is spell out the demon. It's decide to be curious and spell out the other 4-letter. That's an Easter egg where 2 Balverines can attack you. Horrific deeds. Don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Similar to what we did earlier in Orchard Farm, in a head next box the color scape because quest with white power taking place there. So we'll essentially go there first and grab the quest.
Check the guild for more.
Again, Balverines are like the big werewolf kind of thing.
You get to see a couple of them here.
Yeah. Bigger, whiter one.
Or briefly.
And thanks to MIM, that little controller with a hairband, we don't really care that they're there. And before MIM, the Balverines or nymphs that would spawn there could make you lose 10 to 15 seconds just
Oh no, the game just crashed.
Oh.
Let's hear it from Marathon
with the
Luck.
load zone marked.
Okay.
That's time for
That's not
everything.
even, we didn't even like do a glitch.
No. Just a stable Fable moment.
Okay.
That's okay.
Sorry about that. We're gonna get it right back up.
Let's see where the game decides to put me. It put me there at the beginning of Witchwood Lake. That's not the worst, but didn't even get the checkpoint into Nichole Glade.
So back where we left off.
Oh yeah.
I'd say if we want to read a donation or two, now's a good time.
We're just
Wonderful.
gonna get back through that a little bit.
Thank you so much. I have a $10 donation from Cryptid. Gotta donate for my first and favorite childhood RPG. Best of luck to SeraVenza. Spare no chickens. Thank you so much for your donation. Sorry for almost butchering this. Kiblity donates $25. Extremely Goat of Goat. Also, trans rights are human rights. Thank you so much for your donation.
True.
Very true, very good. Thank you so much.
Okay. So, White Balverine. This is a little bit of an interesting quest. So I need to start off by killing 4 regular Balverines here. And then I also need to make sure I'm facing the camera away from where the new ones will spawn in from. Otherwise, they will not spawn. They're very camera shy.
Yeah. We can't hold that against them.
No, we can't.
Oh, you have to reset multi-arrow. Game crashed.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just an extra shot.
Easy.
That thing's skin is too.
So the Balverine, you have to hit him 10 times, and then he'll run into a corner and do a little howling animation. And so we shoot him with an arrow, which cancels his animation and makes him go right away.
Yeah. Basically, what the game is trying to tell us is that this thing cannot be hurt by any regular weapons, even though the weapon we have is not regular at all. We need specifically silver augmented weapons in order to properly damage this thing.
Which we now have.
How did I hit escape? I didn't hit escape. Didn't think I did.
So the woman there gave us a silver augment that we put on the Master Longbow we bought earlier. And with the final shot of multi-arrow, we're gonna go over to the White Balverine, fully charge our bow, and that'll be the White Balverine.
Yeah, for context, the silver augmentation will do 6 times the amount of damage to the White Balverine than normal, so we're also going to grab another one later, so 6 times 6, I'm sure you can do the math, but that was a White Balverine.
The White Balverine usually has, I believe, 3 health limiters and takes a minute or 2 at least, and instead he takes a couple seconds, and then we just teleport back and finish the quest.
Yeah, it's why that minute of setup for XP was so useful earlier on. It's a little bit of investment for just so much time save. It's insane.
Also, we don't really like guards in this run since they were mean to us during our childhood. So we decided to murder right there and go pick up this quest in the guild.
Yeah, there's actually a reason for that. It's because crimes have various levels of severity, just like in real life. Murder is particularly heinous. So, town guards really do not take kindly to that, obviously. So they want to get rid of us as fast as possible by any means necessary. Kicking us out of town would be actually beneficial to us. Come on.
It saves us from having to run all the way to the door we went to fight the White Valverine.
Yeah, just cheeky little time save. So we're going to head over to the arena now, and the arena is normally a lot of fighting. It's going to be like 8 waves or something,
waves,
but the game suggests 8 waves. We'll get to that when we get to it, but we'll just say that. But not, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fighting. It will really showcase just how much power we have at the moment.
I'm going to make a quick little detour right here.
You've come to the right place.
Instead of the chicken chaser, we were a pilgrim.
I just like the voice lines.
In the arena, they have special voice lines for each title that you could have.
Welcome to the Hall of Heroes.
Okay, so now we get to wait for a little bit, but while we are waiting, I'm going to buy the other silver augmentation that we need, as well as a piercing augmentation, which makes armor like less impactful.
Yeah, and
Okay,
what we're
there we
going to
go.
also do here is this guard here is the trigger to start the next part of the quest. So we're going to actually move him down while we've got a little minute timer going on here, and probably while we're moving him down, we've got time for a quick dono or two.
Sure. I have a $250 donation from Eggplant Wiz in honor of Brian, who loved video games. Thank you so much for your donation. And again, chat, you are doing an amazing job. We are raising money for Prevent Cancer Foundation, and we have raised $320,498, and it is only Monday. Chat,
Let's
you're
go.
doing such a good job. Let's go. Thank you so much.
If you have time for another one, or if you do have another one.
Oh boy, I sure have so many. I have a $5 donation from Ben Kuhn, longtime watcher and first time donating. Good luck to all the runners. Thank you so much for your donation. Again, this is all because of you all, so thank you all so much.
Thank you, the person listening to this.
Absolutely. So once we get into the arena here, you'll notice that Sarah's going to make a save. That's for how we use the arena's rounds as a suggestion, which you'll see in a bit.
Yeah.
But for
Also,
now, we're going to abuse and flame.
This big, like,
Waviness.
yeah, big wavy globes thing is force push. So this is a very multifaceted spell. Not only does
Also,
it push
let me
enemies back-
just say really quick, if you suffer from motion sickness at all, because this animation for force push is very, very wavy and disorienting, I would recommend not looking at the stream for the next few minutes.
Right,
We need to
get back
continue
on.
on, please.
But yeah, force push, it's a very multifaceted spell, so not only does it knock enemies back, it also doesn't actually check if the enemies you're pushing are alive or not. So we can force push dead bodies to get multiply. You can see that 41 in the top left going up, so that's going to increase the amount of XP we get. We already have most of our upgrades, but it's just useful to have. It also functions as an animation canceller, so if something is in the midst of dying, say for instance a Valverine which does a really dramatic death animation, you can force push to cancel that, so it's really, really useful.
And this just really shows off how pretty busted Max and Flame is.
We literally do not use a sword in the arena.
I think have we even spoken about what exactly Berserk does? List it
We
off.
touched on it a little bit.
Alright, so let me try and remember everything. So it increases the amount of damage you do. Any damage you do will knock an enemy down. It increases your attack and animation speed, so rolling is faster, spells are faster, attacking is faster. Can't die while in Berserk, and any damage you take will increase the amount of damage you deal. So we're going to use that later on, but first of all, here's Whisper, and we still don't like her, so we're going to push her into a corner.
She decided
Whisper
to join
mostly
us.
just serves as a distraction for your enemies, so we want to keep her like as controlled as possible, so that we can determine where all the enemies will be funneled to, basically.
And there's what Etem said with canceling the Valverine's animation. As they die, they do a big howl, and instead we force push. They all Die immediately.
Also, you may have seen a white Balverine, a former white Balverine. So this is what 2 silver augmentations does. That's 1 white Balverine, that's 2 white Balverines, 3,000 damage each.
Indeed.
No
So
multi-arrow
we could have had
needed
2 augments.
whatsoever.
Having fun there?
So Whisper actually does serve a good purpose here in the arena, other than being a distraction for your enemies. She has a bit of a dialogue when you talk to her, and that skips the announcer's dialogue, and that saves a lot of time because he really likes to ramble.
Yeah, he really likes the sound of his own voice.
Indeed. We finish each round, I would say, what, 10 seconds faster, probably?
Oh, more than that. He
More
really
than that,
goes
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Probably saves us like a good few minutes across the whole arena. But unfortunately, we can't do it across the first 2 rounds because Whisper isn't there.
Great.
Also, fun fact, so you can see the undead here and that they fall down. This is the actual only instance where undead fall down before they die. Normally they just like explode like popcorn, but as luck would have it, this is the only instance where they fall down before dying, which is really inconvenient because if they explode like popcorn, it would make like managing in flames and stuff, which is the big like fire spell. It would make that much easier.
Having fun there?
Indeed. So now we're going to be fighting a bunch of bandits, 4 waves of bandits, and as some of you, if you played as a kid, you might remember the arena was fairly long. You fought bandits, and then you fought the trolls from before, 2 of each variant of troll, and then there was a big scorpion. It's called Arachnox, who is very difficult, and instead, for us speedrunners, this is the end of the arena. These bandits here. You'll see what Sarah's doing in a second, besides pushing Whisper directly in the corner.
Nice, he got a good sight.
Very good.
Very good.
Cool, so those are the
as-
last things we'll kill in the arena, yeah.
Yeah, so as we talk to Whisper here, we're actually going to say, no, we don't want to continue. I want to leave the arena.
I want to take a break
And-
really quick.
Yep. Yeah, we're going to take a quick break, and then actually we're going to decide we're going to talk back to Al and go right back in. We want to get back on the horse, and that's actually just going to reset our state. So Sarah's going to make a save, and this save will now be in the Earth Troll round, and she's going to load into another area. It actually doesn't matter which area, you just need a door. And she's going to load the save she made at the very beginning of the arena against the wasps.
This confuses the game a little bit because we've kind of completed the wasp round, but not really. But we're also not in the arena where we should be. So the game's like, hey, you shouldn't be here. You should be here. So it conveniently puts us over here. And then this does something a little bit weird. The gate that is normally up here is actually down, and we can interact with this door. And we're going to use that with another load warp here, using the save that we made on the Earth Troll round. And then this really confuses the game. Because basically the entirety of the arena, well, the rest of the arena is going on in this room.
If you're following along, chat, this will be on the test.
First thing.
Yeah, so you hear the announcer count 3, 2, 1 as that's the like before the round starts, and then it immediately completes because there's no enemies on screen, so the game doesn't think there's any enemies, so you completed the round.
Back for more advice.
That was very well fought.
And I'm speaking to
Okay.
Roth here for the same reason I was speaking to Whisper earlier. Just to skip the announcer's rambly dialogue. Rambly dialogue.
And so I believe we just skipped the rock troll round, and then normally you would have to fight Arachnox, the giant scorpion, and then you would have to fight Whisper afterwards.
We have 2 winners.
Yeah,
had
and
2
so
winners.
we skip Whisper as well. We skip everything after the bandits, and that was the arena.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Oh, so that's the arena done. There's one funny side effect, which is that the combat music is going to keep wanting to start, and then the regular music will take over. So if you hear
It's going to be doing that for a little bit. Yeah.
Anticipate the violin stings.
Oh, did we mention that the bandit Cirrus at Twin Blades Camp is actually our sister? She's alive.
Oh yeah, no, we didn't.
Yeah,
so we're
shame
going
on
to the
us.
talk
story
to her.
here.
So yeah, we're meeting back up with our sister, who did in fact survive the bandit raid. Confirmed. Excuse me. Basically, we also met the main antagonist of the game in the cutscene we skipped leaving the arena. His name is Jack of Blades. Big, powerful, almost deity kind of guy. Going to quickly-ish upgrade the rest of the necessary skills here.
Yep. We can just get everything right up to max. We actually have so much extra XP.
And we're going to go to Bowerstone South, which is pretty much closest where to the next quest is going to take place.
You're going to
But
pick up
yes,
souls?
story. Our mother is alive also. She survived the bandit raid. She was also captured by Jack of Blades. Whereas our sister Teresa was left to die in the woods after he gouged her eyes out. Lovely guy. But yeah, really quick, I'm going to make a unfortunate spots in here.
Little party going on in here.
Bit of a party, yeah.
It's absolutely random.
I do have
in
enough
that room.
gold. Interesting.
Oh my god, you have
Ooh,
22
just
left.
barely.
Sorry, gosh. You have 22 left? Yeah, that's crazy.
Picking up those gold sacks in the arena paid off.
I would like to thank those traders, or just no, I didn't even pick up the infected traders gold. You did drop some, but I didn't pick it up. Okay. But yes, that fellow we found in Witchwood Cavern earlier, he's the archaeologist. He stumbled onto something that put his life in danger, and now we need to go rescue him because after we found him, so did Jack. Yeah, he's the only one who knows he's the only one who knows how to get into Bargate Prison, which is where our mother is being held.
Beautiful.
Also,
That was so nice.
barrier clip.
I didn't even look.
That was the discovery of that was a really fun day. But yeah.
Yeah, normally for that clip
or something.
Yeah, that barrier, you normally have to go over and kill one of the, I don't know what their name is, the wizard type enemies.
It's the Dreadwing minions.
The Dreadling minions. You have to kill one of them to, because he's holding up the barrier with his magic, and instead we just teleport right through it with our bandit friend.
Yep.
And you actually don't need to kill all the minions on the way here. You only have to kill the 2 minions by the
archaeologist.
Yep.
So long as they are the only 2 minions on the dock, and you kill them, the quest completes just fine. Oh, didn't.
You can actually kill them and shove all the other minions off and run back, and
That
that'll
too.
also complete it.
That too.
Just wanted to
And we're
admire the hero's
also,
chest there for a little bit.
This is our first instance of recall, so we're going to teleport away just to teleport back, and basically in this instance, that's just going to save us having to walk all the way back up the stairs.
Yeah, the
And
whole
we can go right back in this door.
the concept behind recalling is that it puts you to the entrance you were nearest, and because Prison Path only has 1 entrance to it, it plonked us right at the singular entrance that it has.
Right.
Pretty convenient. Also saves a little bit of time compared to manual
So this
movement,
is
which can be plagued by Assassin Rush not fully going places because collision and stuff.
So coming up
another
here, we've got
important save.
the graveyard where all good runs go to die. This is actually the only required instance of fishing, which will come into play in a second. So we need 4 pieces of Nostro's armor. We need his armor, helmet, sword, and shield. There's his helmet.
Path he shall yield.
Hello.
Talk to
This
the
is the
gravekeeper.
Gravekeeper. We don't like him, so we tell him to wait here and never talk to him again.
Leave him to eventual death.
He really gets in the way.
Fishing is basically like a really, really evil version of red light, green light, if you've ever played that game. So we're going to see how this plays.
First, we need to get Nostro's armor in this little crypt, but we just run over here and grab it. And then we're going to run over to a little pond and try to fish and hope that our fish is light and forgiving.
Yep, light and kind of pacifist.
Yeah.
Who goes fishing in a graveyard?
Just accept
So
it.
I believe how long the fish takes to get on the hook is random.
Yep.
and then how hard the fish fights you is random. Where? There it is.
Really
that was still pretty good.
Yeah, it was actually made a little bit easier in Anniversary as well, compared to the originals.
Yeah.
Sometimes the fish will fight you and your line can actually snap, and then you have to go through the entire animation again and then still hope for a fish. It's very RNG heavy.
Mm-hmm. But thankfully, it was nice and kind. Let me make another save here.
Yeah. All of these saves that Sarah's been making will come to fruition very soon. This late end of the run is very load warp heavy. And Sarah's actually, walls and hills are also suggestions in speedruns. Not in this case, but so her bandit turned around there. Yes, her bandit turned around there, and you can't teleport through a bandit if their back is facing you. So she got... does it still kill? Oh, it does. Okay.
I used Inflame for that reason, yeah.
Yeah, better. I didn't know if it...
Go for the illegal U-turn.
I don't like going for that one. It throws me off with the soft target system. When I get to where our mom is.
Okay. Don't forget to save after this. Oh wait.
Or during.
Yeah. Or during. Yeah. Actually, that now that I think about it, if we go for Grave Guildmaster, does it matter? Actually.
Actually, it's better to just have the save, I think.
Yeah, fair.
Just in case.
Speaking of, how is that donation incentive looking?
Yeah.
Well, let me take a peek. Right now, we are kill. The people really want kill.
By how much?
People want blood.
By a good $1,100.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Well, that sounds pretty sure.
So that instance of seeing the Kraken there is the only instance we're ever going to see it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's very quick glimpse.
For some reason, when you first go into that zone, the Kraken is just alive. But yes, in terms of the speed run, we don't have to fight him because he takes very long and takes a very long time.
He's just vibing.
Yeah. Also, walls are suggestions.
I'm sure he's happy he gets to live.
True. I don't really know how our mom gets past him. Maybe she just teleports.
Carefully.
Yeah. So basically, we're trying to break into Bargate Prison right now, which is where Jack of Blades has captured our mother. And so we're breaking into the prison. You see all these guards, and we're just rolling right past. We don't really care about them. We have this blue outline around us, which is a physical shield, which means whenever we take damage, it takes it from our mana bar. And as you can see, our mana bar is half the screen. Plus in Berserk, you can't die, so really damage isn't a worry. So we just roll right through here, and just like Traitor Escort, once we have our mother, we don't really worry about it. We just run and she'll follow. However, since we're in the prison, even though we're the strongest character you can be in the game, Jack still somehow captures us and our mother again. So now we are in prison.
You just get yourself
I guess now's a good time. First of all, I'd like to point out that that guard is taking a whiz. He's got a sword in his hand. I'm not an expert. I do not recommend. Okay, that out the way. I guess to talk about prison, we're going to be here for a little bit. So get comfortable, have a drink, out, stretch, drink some water. But yeah, there's going to be quite a lot of dialogue coming up here. And normally when we're doing like runs for like PBs and stuff, we're actually going to run the game in French because the spoken dialogue is faster. It's not because we're like Francophiles or anything.
By about 30 seconds, I think. In just
32.
Right? Yeah.
34
32.
seconds.
Yeah.
English is actually the slowest language, as luck would have it, out of all of the available languages. But for the sake of being able to follow along with the game, I guess to talk about skipping prison, because right now we have to listen for dialogue for 2.5 minutes, do a running race, do a stealth mini game, then we do about 2 minutes of waiting for dialogue, then a running race, then a stealth mini game, then get our stuff, then get our mother, and then come all the way back out, sort of thing. It's just a lot of nothing.
It's about 6.5 minutes of nothing.
So there's been a lot of talk about skipping prison, but the quest system is actually insanely robust. So we've actually had real trouble with skipping prison to the point where we actually have several bounties on for like prison skip that's viable and saves time. I think it's probably up to like $500, maybe even more than that. We've tried a lot of things, like there's a glitch called Etem mode. I don't know who it was named after. And that disables all event triggers, so we can use that to actually leave the prison. But even when we leave the prison, it thinks that you're on a race, so it locks all the doors. Like the quest script is just like, nope, you are not playing nice, sort of thing. Yeah.
So I just would say, so basically, the warden once a year wants all of his prisoners to race for him, and if they win, they have the honor of hearing him read poetry. And instead, we've heard that there's a key to our cell in a book in his thing, and there is a code to get into the book. And so instead of hearing him talk, once we finish the race, we're going to do a little stealth minigame to find the code and then read a book. But the game kind of tricks you, because the first year, you're actually not able to find the key in the book. It does not exist.
Yeah, there is an alternative strat where you can actually fail the first year's race, skip the cutscene, and then the second year's dialogue is much faster and you'll get the book first try. We affectionately call this part the P-break part of the run. So I guess if you really, really needed that, you could, but still need to skip the cutscene.
And that loses about 10 seconds to winning, I believe, but it's not that bad.
Yeah.
But so basically, we're going to do this race that we're about to win. We're going to do a stealth mini game, read a book. It's not going to be the right book, and then we're going to go back to the prison again, hear more dialogue, do another race, and read another book, which actually has the key in it. So I mean, unless you guys disagree, I think we have some time for donations.
Yep.
Like a couple of minutes, honestly.
Oh, goodness gracious. Sounds good to me. We've got plenty. I have a $50 donation from C2. Let's go, Sarah. Let's not kill Weaver. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Preemptive apologies, C2.
Preemptive apologies here. I have $50 from Simon Nagraf. Had to donate during Fable, one of my all-time favorites. My dad is currently going through chemotherapy. I wanted to say thank you, Dad, for always being there for me, and I'm proud to be your son. Love you, Dad. Thank you so much for your donation. It was incredibly sweet. I have a $25 donation from Anonymous. Cute Kitten Overload. Yes, please. As a reminder, we are at $4,888 out of $10,000 needed for that. So let's get those donations in. So come on, chat. Cute kitten. Like it's come on. It's cute kittens. It's just easy. Come on. I have $25 from Kelpmonger. GDQ is my favorite time of year. Shout out to the marathon with the screaming memes inside. Thank you so much for your donation.
Time to move out.
I have $10 from E Frosty. Super glad to see Fable being run in AGDQ and Sarah as the runner. All the hard work and dedication you and the community put into running shows. Thank you so much for your donation. I have $10 from Jess Aurora. Excited to see Fable in GDQ and even more excited to see my beautiful friend Sarah rocking the run.
Thank you, Jess.
You have a lot of love in here. I have $10 from Chewbacca Chills. Hey, Sarah, good luck on the run, and may the fish gods be with you.
The fish gods were with me too, thank you very much.
They were good.
I have $250 from Anonymous. There is no comment, but Anonymous, thank you so much for your donation. It's just so appreciated. We are at $321,108. You all are doing fantastic. This is so good. Thank you all so much.
I love that.
Thank you.
Just donating $250 anonymously refuses to elaborate.
You can chat.
Take this and ask no questions.
Absolutely.
No questions asked.
Right? I have $25 from Ectosum. So great to see Fable being used for such an amazing cause and being played by such amazing runner. Much love from the Fable team.
Cool.
Ooh. I think that was a dev.
And there's a winky
I
face
think so
after
too.
that. Little sneaky winky face.
Yeah, we have had a couple of the devs be present for some of the runs, and they've always given us a lot of love, and we give them a lot of love back. We've got a lot of love and respect for the game. I think I can only speak on behalf of Sarah here in terms of like
It seems
us playing this game for so long and it having so much charm and soul and stuff.
All right. So, prison break time. Yeah, so we need to finally get our stuff back because somehow, along with taking our belongings, they also managed to take our magic, which is a bit annoying. So, yeah. The game also literally will not let us progress any further without our belongings and stuff. So, yeah, definitely need to do this.
Now that we opened that chest, we can now assassin rush and go berserk again.
And as a preemptive apology, we are going to be naked for the rest of the run, I believe, because it's too slow to put on clothes.
Right.
So I guess who needs clothes when you have physical shield?
Also, I feel like we should say, if anyone's played the game before, you would know that after you save your mother from the prison for good, you have to run back down and fight the Kraken. And instead, Sarah is going to make a save and load the old graveyard path. And the other side of the old graveyard path is where you happen to go after you defeat the Kraken with your mother. And you're not supposed to be able to go into that area unless the Kraken is dead. And so the game just thinks you must have finished the quest, good job, carry on.
That was a well hard-earned fight.
Now we're going to be doing another load warp immediately afterwards.
Yep.
And this
you want to go back to some story?
That should have worked, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, I did.
Did you just do it with a dash?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
The load zone's just really close there, so it kind of looks a little weird.
Does anyone want to say what's going on story-wise? What this is?
I'll go ahead and do that. Well,
there we go. Good.
Yeah, so as our mother just kindly explained what the deal with that gate was, we were killing those undead to feed the souls of them to it in order to power it for one little trip to this town of Hook Coast, in which is a ruined abbey, where a specific thing that Jack of Blades needs in order to find the sword that we have on our back.
He's not very observant.
Yeah.
He has seen us.
He has seen us on multiple occasions.
And he even,
in fact, took it from us.
Yeah, he confiscated it from I've never actually thought about that. He kind of confiscated the sword from us.
He takes the sword of Aeons and then...
Something isn't right here. What?
But
so there's some issues going on.
Yeah, our reunion with our mother was very short-lived, unfortunately, because she just got recaptured by Jack of Blades' minions, and I need to load this save. And to save just a few seconds, perform a load warp using the autosave that we just got from completing Gateway to Hook Coast.
It just saves about 2 seconds of walking, really.
Yeah.
I'd say more than that, because you still got to go down the stairs.
True. So, legitimately, you want to see what our friend Maze is doing?
You mean the definitely not Traitor one? Yeah.
Yes. Well, we actually have found out that he actually is a traitor.
We don't know that yet. That's
we don't know that until we get there. Spoilers. I'm so sorry. Oh no.
I can't believe this.
He's a traitor.
So
what?
we need to go get this key before Jack of Blades can get it.
Shout out to the seagull, by the way.
Yes, there is a seagull there. He hangs out.
Yeah.
The barrier is still here, and the guildmaster is going to do a little chant to get rid of it.
Just to show that off, you can click through the barrier, but it doesn't do anything.
You actually can't walk into the area. You have to stand next to the barrier to load the cutscene. Also, Maze is a traitor.
Rock horror. Love the church.
Oh my goodness.
Maze. I don't think you got it. Yeah, you should have inflamed. You can probably just inflame. Oh, wow. Nice. I think you maybe got before Lighthouse. So Maze here has certain cycles and health limiters where if you do a certain amount of damage, he won't go to a certain area. So since our multi-strike does so much, he normally would go up to that lighthouse and take a long time. but instead he teleported right down here, and that was actually pretty much perfect. Besides
Nearly,
that second
yeah.
cycle, yeah, that was a very good maze.
It was.
So
Oddly
Jack
enough,
right
you can
now-
only bypass that sequence by knocking him over.
And
So
hitting
Jack
him in
right
like a
now-
very specific
Okay.
timing too. Sorry, go ahead, Adam.
No worries. So Jack right now is activating all the focus sites. So we're going to do a trick that's called
Jack has
Jack's
to be stopped.
hit, and I emphasize the space
Must see
between.
you at the guild.
So Jack is on the other side of the map. So with a very well placed bow shot right here,
I'm
Brandon,
gonna shoot this tree.
very good. We've just basically bonked Jack from across the map with an arrow, which then activates his cutscene. So it just saves a little bit of traveling.
It's like
Anything
force
to
pushing
save
maze in
moving.
the in his tower.
Exactly like that.
And so I don't know if Sarah's going to here, but on this bridge you can use lightning to do damage to Jack a little bit closer.
I won't be
nope.
able to.
Nope.
That
Nope.
just spawned in front of me.
There are random enemy spawns, so you can't do it sometimes. But
Yeah, that
it
undead
just
get down,
saves
Mr.
another second or so.
Jack.
For real.
This is the only part of the focus sites quest, fun fact, that is not able to be done a different way. Like you have Jack's hit for the first one, and then for the Orchard Farm focus site, you can actually do a load warp on the other side. It's about the same time-wise, so it doesn't really make a difference. It's just an option. But for this Hobbs Cave focus site, you have to run straight through. There's no other option.
Yeah.
Even in this room, Jack is hiding behind the focus site, so we can't hit him.
Yeah, I think
And
even
you'll
if
s-
you do, it doesn't actually work.
Yeah. And you'll see for the Headsman Hill.
Yes.
And
Wanted to make a
so-
safety save really quick, just
Yeah,
because I do
fair.
not trust myself. After
Fair.
stop going into
Could be safe.
options. Jeez.
And yeah, so for the fourth focus site, instead of running through, I believe, 4 load zones, we're going to load warp into the final load zone and roll right up here through the focus site. And even though we tried our hardest, Jack got all 4 focus sites working and is now in the...
He's activated the
I don't remember what the room is called, but it's important.
Chamber of Fate.
The Chamber of Fate. Yep. Now he is in the Chamber of Fate and has the Sword of Aeons. And so you'll
Time for
notice
another load
Sarah. Yeah, Sarah traveled to the Chamber of Fate that we went to long ago to get the Sword of Aeons ourselves. And load warping into this quest kind of confuses the game. So you'll notice when we go in, there won't be any cutscene, but there's Jack with all of his minions.
Did that again.
Don't force push, yeah. And so Sarah's going to kill the minions here, and then going to fight Jack. You're fine. So Jack has 2 cycles. He has his little guy cycle like this, which he's now going to get out of as he goes back to the middle, and you'll see him transform into a big boy. He turns into a very tall man and brings rocks up from the floor. And actually, since we load warped in, since the rocks are up from the floor, we can leave to this area, say hi to the dying guildmaster, but he'll be
Right, he'll
fine.
get better.
And then
He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
and then we
For
just
now.
leave and go right back into the Chamber of Fate to practically start the quest. So you'll see the cutscene for the quest show up right here, except Big Jack is kind of just hanging out in this corner, and so we just hit him a couple times, and that is the end of Jack of Blades. He's gone. That's the main antagonist. And also, even though we spent the duration of the game trying to save our sister and mother, just to keep the sword that we've had the entire run, we're going to kill our sister given the first opportunity.
We weren't very attached.
And
Not like the sword.
The sword is too important.
I definitely feel like someone should explain this one. Legitimacy, if you want to, or I can.
Yeah, I can explain it.
Okay.
Check the guild for
I'm
more.
gonna wait till she gets there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can go ahead and set it up though. Like explain what I'm
Okay.
going to be doing.
Essentially, you can load warp into the Fireheart puzzle room early, and by doing so, you can interact with the puzzle. And it doesn't check whether or not all of the tiles are suns or moons. It just checks how many suns you have flipped. And so we'll get into here and then flip 9 of them. And so you'll add 9 to whatever the amount of suns are in the puzzle room when during the puzzle. And as soon as you hit, 6 in total, it'll automatically flip over.
Yeah.
Or it'll automatically end that segment part.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 7. I did the math wrong.
Either way, it's going to be very abnormal.
Yeah, and so instead of flipping them all to suns or moons, practically we just need there to be 7 suns overall.
Yeah.
So on that last one, so on this one, to make 7, we had to make 4 movements, and on this one we'll need 3 more. See, there's 4 to start, and 5, 6, 7, and the puzzle is complete, and we actually get the good quest. We saved all of the profits, even though we didn't really finish any of the puzzles.
We're a good sibling murderer.
Right.
In a video game.
Of course.
Only in, yes. Although, canonically, she's okay.
She'll buff out.
True.
She'll be alright.
Just a flesh wound.
Sarah or Etem, do you want to explain what's going on here on Hook Coast? Why are we back?
Yeah, so essentially we have the fire heart, so we can use it to activate the ship of the drowned. But before we do that, we're going to get attacked by, or it's going to get attacked by summoners, which are going to be very big and very annoying little big guys over here.
Sorry, you want to switch the souls?
I think that was good. Yeah, you're good. Nice. So those summoners have a very annoying animation they do. They have a big Kamehameha-like ball out of their hands, and you can't do any physical damage to them while they're charging that, and so you can get unlucky, although this was really good for Sarah.
Oh, it was perfect.
God.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that was perfect. That animation cancel with the summoner exploding immediately, to my knowledge, is completely random, but it saves several seconds. And yeah, you lose about 6 seconds, I would say, anytime one of those summoners charges and you can't hit it. And so that was perfect, practically. This is another iteration of what we did for Jack's hit. There's this ice troll up here who does have a barrier, and the load zone behind it doesn't spawn, so we actually have to fight.
Probably one of the longest health phases in the game.
Yes. This ice troll is very obnoxious. As you can see, it has a sliver of health, but we can't really do damage to it unless, as you saw, it slammed the ground there, and it has to slam the ground 13 times before you can do any more damage to it.
I guess while we are on the way here, do we have time for another donor or two?
I would say so.
Perfect. I have a $50 donation from Dengenuity. Chicken Chaser, long live Fable. Thank you so much for your donation. I have $50 from Royal Tarts that says less than 3. Less than 3. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And $25 from D Machine. Good luck to all the runners, and thank you to all the staff. Thank you.
Big shout outs to the staff.
Absolutely. And shout out to anyone donating. That really means a lot.
Also, big shout out to everybody behind the scenes too.
Yeah, it is a very well put together.
Y'all are doing it's just the best work.
Yeah, GDQ is a great event. As you'll notice, Sarah has been doing a lot of teleporting. So she's just basically recalling. If there's multiple zones, like load zones, in an area, the recall will place you to the one that you are closest to. So basically, Sarah is rolling halfway through an area to get closest to the area she needs to, and instantly goes to that area. So as you'll see, she's going to be teleported directly into a cutscene right here, and will be in the Necropolis section of the game. Which, if you played Fable: The Lost Chapters, you will know is the bane of your existence. But in Fable Anniversary is pretty straightforward.
Yeah, they're all static in Anniversary on PC.
Yes.
I'm sure
Etem
the first time you
Sarah
load into the game for some reason, it's very weird. No idea why it's actually, quote, fixed, end quote, but yeah, it's very fortuitous for us.
I'm sure either Sarah or Etem can attest that Necropolis in the Lost Chapters being completely random. I think there's about 40 options for the graves is a big RNG time segment that shouldn't be in the speedrun.
Yeah, there's like 12 available graves that you have to check, and as very fitting, it's the second graveyard of the run where all the other
good runs go to die.
Yeah.
And bad ones.
Thankfully, not as much of a problem in Anniversary. Also, fortunate that Valkyrie didn't follow you. That's cool.
True.
And so now...
All of that, by the way, was just to learn the YMCA. So we can awaken the Oracle of Snowspire.
Exactly.
Awaken the Oracle with the help of the village people.
True.
I would say now, really, we're in the boss rush section of the game.
Just about,
Whereas we've finished pretty much any quest available and are now fighting bosses. Do you want to explain why we're fighting bosses?
I guess before we do, just a heads up that the Guildmaster thing is
Cut off is going to be coming up soon.
Minute or two?
Yeah.
Sounds
right after I kill this fellow in a moment.
Yeah.
Hey.
Do you want to explain why we have to kill get souls?
You heard what the Oracle said.
So, the antagonist, Jack of Blades, is not actually dead. We didn't manage to kill him for some reason. Instead, he has become a giant dragon, and he is hiding behind the Bronze Gate. And in order to completely vanquish him, we need to feed the Bronze Gate the souls of 3 heroes, specifically a king of the arena, a heroine soul, and the oldest soul. Thunder is now dead. We can close off the Guildmaster's fate.
The die is...
But yeah, Thunder was a ex-champion of the arena, so his soul is applicable here. Briar is also right here. She is a heroine. You know, why go anywhere else when you can just take the soul right in front of you?
And we're actually doing a little trick that I'm pretty proud of here, where we used to run at her with a sword and it would take a lot of time. And instead now we found when you charge your bow, you can also use force push. And so we get rid of her clones, shoot her with multi-arrow, and move her cycle immediately, saving like 10 to 15 seconds. Also, I would say, if you agree, Sarah, the Guildmaster should be closed.
Yeah, I just said that a bit ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't hear you, sorry.
All good. Okay, so I'm assuming that we are in fact killing the Guildmaster.
Yeah, you are doing a murder.
Okay.
On the plus side, we do get to see one of the best cutscenes in the game, but coming up here, so we go to the Guild Woods, and essentially we're not actually going to really fight the Guildmaster, we're going to fight all his guards. So each guard here has 2,000 health, which is just above the threshold for being able to kill them in one hit. So we're going to need to berserk damage boost a little bit. This is normally,
and that's also why I picked up the Soulless Greatsword. It just does more raw damage.
Yeah, exactly.
Than Aeon's does. So I'm going to want to count how many times I get hit here. 1, 2. Come on. I'm not getting hit very often here.
No, they're missing everything. These are stormtroopers.
3-ish.
It's really funny when you don't have multi-strike on.
I'd like to, once this...
Wow, that was really unfortunate. That was like... Wow. I should have just done that with Aeons, but oh well.
So this right here, for some reason, is not skippable in Anniversary in the original game. Well, I guess in TLC, it is skippable, but for some reason, this is just not skippable.
And it has
Although, coming up here, I want to take a minute after he's like, oh, teleport to Litchfield, take Nostro's soul, because we do get to see the best cutscene in the game, and I want you to experience this.
Take Nostro's soul instead.
Y'all paid for
We are
this.
not going to be doing that. The
No, not pay. You
GDQ
donated for this.
I am no
Yes.
defenseless old man. I have
Well-
powers that you can't begin to.
Well,
This was your doing, chat. You
we
donated
call
for this.
that a murder. There's his soul. And so now we can open the bronze gate and go fight Dragon Jack.
Yeah.
So this
As soon as I
is
can
the
find the Archon Shrine, there we go.
yeah. We've got 2 maps, single boss fight. We're going to be fighting a big old dragon, and I guess we can probably take this time to thank you all for watching. I want to shout out the Fable community as a whole. I've sort of been here since 2013, and it's built up from 2 people to a Skype group to a whole Discord. This and all the other games, there's a huge community which is really supportive and really encouraging to new runners. We've got a whole bunch of great resources available. I want to thank ReVo, Ligitacy for your commentary. I want to thank Sarah for the amazing run. It was really well done. You can be really proud. And time is coming up here in just a second.
As soon as we throw away his mask, skip this
Once the
cutscene,
quest
and
finishes here.
time.
Nice.
GG.
I never realized how brutal that Guildmaster final scene.
Yeah, no, that one. God, the fact that those guards were just not very keen on hitting me, just very stormtrooper aim, and
True.
like partially just like not cooperative at all, is just
You wanna
really
explain what
unfortunate.
you're doing here?
Yeah, so all that teleporting I did earlier, like right before Necropolis, that was just to skip this whole little cutscene trigger.
Briar Rose is back to life.
Briar Rose, everybody.
Taunting us.
Here she is. She's
The
alive.
hero actually died during the Dragon Jack boss fight. This is all a dream from here.
Good thing your seal set the local
Wake up,
ones off.
hero. We've been
I've managed to get a
expecting
good look around.
a Fable 2.
Might be worth investigating. See all those inscriptions?
Yeah.
I'm heading back
And
to
yeah,
the
that
Fable
was
translations.
Fable anniversary. We
should
have
carry on to
a
Snow
pretty
Spire and speak
active
with
Discord
Simon. He's waiting for
that
you.
we post in
Catch
all
you
the
later.
time. We're actively looking for ways to improve the game. And like Adam said, we have some. I think there's a bounty on both prison and graveyard, if I'm wrong.
Indeed.
So correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. So
Yeah,
there are a
speedrun.com.
couple
I think there's
of those if
also
you're
a
interested.
bounty. I think there's also a bounty for a full arena skip, not just skipping half
Oh,
of it.
okay. Yeah, that'd be
But
cool.
yeah, I'm.
Does it have
not
to be
too-
viable?
Yes.
Yes.
Nice try.
Yes. Yes, it
'Cause
needs
we
to be
got that.
speedrun
It's just
viable.
not viable.
Yeah.
And so yeah, if anyone's interested in the game, the Discord is available. You can go on speedrun.com, and we're all pretty active there. And if you ever have any questions, we'll be able to answer. And thanks everyone for your donations and GDQ for hosting such a great event.
I'd just like to say one thing, if I may. Fable community, the Fable speedrunning community is. I've got a lot of attachment for it because of all the friends that I've made through it. Everyone here, folks like Wintilda, Avvis, Noctiverse, Big Law, KJ Freshly, even though he doesn't run the game anymore. Just lots of people that I hold very dear. And it's kind of funny to think about sometimes because I wasn't looking to speedrun this game originally. I was looking to speedrun Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix when I was first getting into speedrunning. And I picked Fable The Lost Chapters because like I knew the game pretty well. At the time, I thought I was just settling on it, but it's really become a home for me. And like if it weren't for some of the people that I've met there, I would probably still consider myself cisgender today. And I just want to say, like, this community is really welcoming and very, very helpful. And I'm just so proud to be a part of it.
Big ups, Fable.
Well said. Yeah. Well said.
That was, that's about what I wanted to say there. I don't want to take much more time. I think I came in underestimate, so let's not have me rambling anymore.
Do we know
Thank you so much, Sarah.
Yeah. Very happy to be here. Thank you for accepting. This is
True.
If you had told me, like, back when I first started, that I would actually be running Fable at GDQ, I wouldn't believe you. I wouldn't believe you. But here I am, so. Yeah. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for donating.
Thank you for the run. That was really good.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
That was
tried.
a really good run. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, chat, that was such a good run. Thank you all for being here. Now's a good time to stand up, stretch, get some water, hydrate, and relax a little bit as we settle in for a break. See you soon. Welcome on back from the break Twitch chat. I have a $50 donation from Shy Staff. Have to go to sleep, so hopefully I'll dream a fable of a good night. Thank you so much for your donation, Shy Staff. And chat, mark your calendars. Frost Fatales 2023, GDQ's next all-women charity speedrunning event, is coming up February 26th through March 4th. The Frame Fatales community will be raising money for charity and spotlighting the talented women in speedrunning. For more information about Frame Fatales, go to gamesdonequick.com/framefatales or do !FF in the chat. If you're a woman interested in joining the FF community, DM at Frame Fatales on Twitter or head on to our website. I have a $25 donation from WG Grizzy. Another year, another great week of speedruns. I'm always happy to hear Nichole Goodnight on the mic, so my donation goes to Host Choice. Well, thank you so much for that donation. Appreciate it greatly. And chat, let's go ahead and go over to an interview with Adef and Traitor. Take it away.
Hello, everybody of AGDQ 2023 Online. My name is Adef, and I am joined by the ever wonderful Traitor. Traitor, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing great right now, actually, and also very nervous.
I'd be shocked if you weren't nervous. It's okay to be nervous. I hope you're not nervous to talk to me. I hope that's not the case because
No. You're great.
Well, thank you. So why don't we jump right into the questions about this upcoming Frogun? I think I'm going to land on Frogun. What did you land on?
I'm going to land on whatever everyone else decides is weird. So, Frogun, perfect. I'll do that.
I hate it.
Thank you.
So, Frogun is a relatively new game and, is only released in August of 2022, which is weird to say. That's last year. How did you come by this game? Like, how did you get introduced to it?
All right, so that's actually a really good question. The way I got introduced to it is I did the Sonic Amateur Games Expo. I looked into it the year before the game actually released, and I saw it as a demo, and I thought, oh my god, this game is cute, and I'm a sucker for cute things. So as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh yeah, I've got to play this.
Amazing. I love that story, and of course, there's nothing that draws you to a game faster than, oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And after you started playing it, how quickly did you have the realization of, oh, this is potentially a really good speed game?
Okay, it was after I downloaded the game, or the demo version of it, I played it on stream for a birthday stream, and in that birthday stream, I was playing around with the physics. I'm like, this game's pretty fun. And one moment in particular, I have it as a clip where there was a slope. There was a really weird function with the slope, and I was like, "Oh, my speedrun brain is activating right now."
Yes.
I used that slope, got onto a place, skipped a huge section of the level, and I'm like, "All right, this is for me. I've got to play this."
Yes. Interactions with slopes. If you're a game developer out there making a 3D game, and for some reason you really want speedrunners to play it, just don't pay any attention to how the player character interacts with slopes. We'll love you for it. Thank you very much. So how has the tech developed since the game came out? Since that initial slope boosting, discovery, what else has come to fruition?
There's actually a ton of different things that have changed. A lot of stuff, because when the game was being developed, I actually helped the developer out with a few different things that I noticed, like glitches that were just way too broken, for example. And we had those patched out, but also they added some really cool new things. For example, you're able to grapple twice in midair, which completely makes a lot of stages and strats so much easier because you get that slight extra distance. It's really good.
That's awesome. It's so nice to hear developers interacting with the speedrunning community or just the community in general that's built around their game. It's really nice to see developers do that. Do you run any other indie titles, or is this sort of your only indie speedrun?
I think this is the first indie game that I've ever played as a speedrun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I think it would be we just put a tweet out a little bit ago asking for questions, and a bunch of people sent in really great ones. So why don't we jump into a few of those? We have a tweet here from @SuperJustinBros, and they ask, if you were to suggest someone who has never played this game to watch this speedrun, which I think you should watch this.
Yes.
Which part or parts would you tell them to look out for?
All right. I have quite a few different things. The first one is the game's divided up into 6 worlds, and in each of the worlds, they have a different theme. The first world is pretty self-explanatory. It's a very normal tutorial world. I think after the tutorial world, World 2 is amazing. World 4 is a lava world, so it's going to show off really crazy strats in that. And then World 5, I actually have a surprise that even my commentator doesn't know about.
Ooh.
So definitely check that out.
I think we should end on that note, because I don't want anyone to forget that. Okay, there is a special thing, and we're not going to go into any more detail.
Yeah,
that may happen in the Frogun run that even the commentary crew does not know about. That's very exciting. Well, Traitor, I wish you the best of luck. And,
Thank you.
Everybody be sure to catch Frogun later this evening. But for right now, stay tuned for more AGDQ 2023 online. We've got Ape Escape 2 coming up right next.
Welcome on back, everyone, to AGDQ 2023. I have a $25 donation from Wiremouse. Oh, hi, Nichole. Got a hot Amos ready for your block tonight? Yes, I do, Wiremouse. Thank you so much for your donation. Chat, if you do not know, that is when you take a famous Amos cookie and dip it in boiling hot water to make it warm and soft. Why don't you let me know what your favorite cookie and beverage combination is in a donation? I'd love to see them. If you haven't tried a famous Amos in hot water, I highly suggest it. I have a $200 donation from Kinkle. Big shout out to the LGBTQ plus speedrunners representing people like me and using their skills for a good cause. Donation goes to the Outer Wilds Shipless Hot Shot Showcase, which I'm still convinced is impossible. Thank you so much for your donation. And I have gotten word that we are all ready for our next run, so let's go ahead and go over to Liquid Squid with Ape Escape 2. Go ahead and take it away.